All right, happy Monday morning to you all. Today is September the 9th, and it is a very, very beautiful day out here so far. We're going to have a couple of really nice days, and then I think, Wednesday it's looking like we might get a little stormy, depending on if that hurricane comes in, hits us or not. So there's that. And the humidity is surprisingly low this morning at 52% for Houston. That's real low. Feels great out here. Yesterday was beautiful, mid-80s. I think we're headed for that again today. It's pretty breezy yesterday and today. I'm not sure what tomorrow holds, but feels great. Anywho, as you can see, I've got the SilverWing put back together and ready for commute duty. My refurbish and restoration project for this, I recorded most of it. I'll be editing and putting those videos together sometime soon, hopefully. I'll probably have them up on the Raw channel before they go on the main channel, so be sure and check out my Raw channel over on QuasiRaw. Anyway, she's back together, purring like a kitten. Oil change, all the fluids, brakes redone, master cylinders redone, all under the skin. A lot of work. So, looking good. I had anticipated on going to Arkansas this past weekend, but I had some things pop up that made that not possible. So if things work out later this week, I might try to take off and head up there Wednesday or Thursday, but that's right when the weather is supposed to get crappy, and the projected storm path is going to be right through, just a little bit east of Houston and continuing on up northeast. So that means it's going to go right through Arkansas, so it might not be ideal timing for me to go up there and join the rest of the guys. They've been enjoying the nice weather there for the last 4 days, I guess. They got there Friday of last week. We're going to stay there 10 days total and ride around a little bit and see the sights in the beautiful Ozark and Ouachita Mountains. They say the weather is just phenomenal there right now, a lot like it is here, but cooler. So their highs in the daytime, low 70s, nighttime is mid 50s, I think. So anyway, get the big girl out for a few commutes here and get reacclimated. Haven't ridden it in a long time, 8 years and change probably since I parked it in the garage. Main reason I parked it, I got other bikes that were a little bit more efficient for my commutes. I got the 500X right around that time. I got it, let's see, it's a 2014 500X, and I got it in May of 15, I think it was. So that's about when I parked this and started riding the 500X for more commute duty. I had other bikes, sport bikes and stuff like that at the time, but I didn't really use those for my dailies. They're a little bit too high-strung for that. Not really comfortable for the commute, grinding through Houston traffic. This thing's a little heavy, a little portly for commute duty, but it does all right. Fuel economy on it, mixed city highway is high 40s, low 50s. Now when I had the Dr. Pulley hit clutch in here, and I was doing all my commutes through Cypress down to the Galleria area every day, I was getting upwards of 54 miles to the gallon on it. I think the highest average I had, not one time, but average, was about 56. So if I could keep the speeds down below 65 and not, hammer the throttle too much, it was getting decent fuel economy. Not bad for a 600cc parallel twin, and it's a heavy bike. It's the stats vary. If you look at all the SilverWing official numbers, quote-unquote official numbers, they vary anywhere from 499 pounds to 540 pounds, and I'm sure some of that deviation is wet weight versus dry weight, all that. It's got a 4.5 gallon tank, I think, or 4.6, something like that. So you get a fair amount of fuel load there. But I think, if I remember right, I put this thing on some scales a long time ago, and if I remember right, it was 528 pounds wet. So I'm not sure. What are you doing, dude? You going? You're not going. You going? You're not going. Go. Figure it out. Park the car. The stats in Europe seem to be a little heavier, and I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it was emissions or something. I don't know. Different configuration. But at any rate, it's a 530-ish pound scooter. It's fairly heavy. So if you're steady state on the highway under 65 miles an hour, it gets pretty good economy. Wake up. Oh, we got the Thorazine parade here. No footer, no footer. Come on. This thing's got a really low center of gravity. It's pretty easy to trundle it along slow and stay on balance, but it's the parking lot maneuvers and you know, backing it in and out of spots that gets a little onerous, let's call it, because it's so heavy. Trying to remember the last road trip that I took on the Wing. I think it was when my son and I went moto camping up north of the Woodlands area. No, I know what it was. It was the Dallas IMS motorcycle show. That's what it was. We rode all the way up there on this. I can't remember what year that was. It must have been 16, the beginning of 16. It was like January or February. And we rode all the way up there. It was cold, man. Cold. I did a partial coast to coast on this, north-south. I took it up to, all the way up to Minnesota, but I didn't go to the border, so it was a north-south coast to coast, short one, not east-west. I need to get this front tire rebalanced. I'm going to try to pull that off here tonight. Right around 65 to 75. It's hopping. It's annoying. I like Wild West. They do good work, but they missed on this one. Rear feels fine. I don't feel any imbalance in that, but definitely the front is not statically balanced. Pull it off there. Put it on my truing and balancing stand and add some weights to it. They've got silver tape weights on here. It looks like the lead ones. The ones I have are black steel, but that's all right. They don't have to match. Visor's not shut. Wow, highway's still pretty clogged for 9:45 in the morning. It's moving, but it's very thick. So my plan is to commute this around for, I don't know, this week, you know, maybe if I get on the road, then the plans will change, but at least for the next few days, I'm going to use this as a commute tool and shake it out, make sure I don't have any more cobwebs in it, and get reacclimated with the fuel range, fuel economy, all that, so I know what my highway touring range is, and get it ready for some fall touring. I'd like to go scooter camping with it. Maybe North Texas, definitely Arkansas. Even if I can't make this meetup, I'd like to get up there in Arkansas and Missouri this fall. Take it up some nice twisty mountain roads and cooler weather. I remember several years back, just after I'd moved to Katy and I was still riding this thing a little bit, I took it for a commute here in the HOV one morning, and a guy on a Harley, I can't remember what flavor it was, it wasn't a Sportster, it was a little bigger than that, went ripping by me real fast, and we were pretty much the only ones out here. It was a slow morning for traffic, and he came up behind me in that section back there, and I kind of scooted over to the right and waved him to go on by, and he tore by me going a little over the century mark. He was probably turning about 105, and I just cranked it up and tailed in behind him, and I saw him lean to the left and look in his mirror, and he hit it. And I heard him, you know, you can hear the pipes on those bikes. He lit it up, and he was running 115 plus. I cranked it up, and I was just holding right there behind him, not close, you know, I wasn't crowding him or anything. And he was running. And we got all the way up here to like the first tolling area and slowed down a little bit, and he slowed way down, and I just kind of crept up, and he waved me to come on by, and I got up next to him, and he just looked at me and nodded and put thumbs up. He was surprised this scooter could run 115 plus. I've seen the official stats on the SilverWing saying that it can only do like 108 or something like that. They're smoking crack. I know better. It does take the right conditions though, because it's got a fair amount of surface area to it. It's slippery if you can get everything out of the airstream. You know, I can't have that top box on the back of it. Windscreen's got to be all the way down. You got to be tucked in. We'll pull 120 plus. Not bad for a scooter. It gets a little sketchy at that speed though. It's not what I would call confidence inspiring. Little bitty wheels turning real fast, and they're not rated for that speed. Well, these aren't anyway, and that surprised me. These City Grip tires are only rated for they're S rated, so what is that, 100 and like 100 and something, I don't know what it is. It's not very high. The Pirelli Diablo scooter tires were H rated. They might have been V rated, I can't recall, but they were 120 mile an hour tires. I don't think I'd try to take these up there, just in case. You don't want to lose a tire at that speed. That's a bad day. That's a real bad day. I've never blown a tire at that, you know, triple digit, you know, above the century mark. Even on the track, I never lost a tire at that speed. Of course, normally track tires, you're not running them long and hard. It's just for the, you know, couple of sessions, a race day, whatever, a couple track days. The worst I've had is I've lost 2 front tires and many rear tires, full blowouts. But that's on bigger touring bikes, and I was going 65, 75 range at most. I cannot imagine a tire delaminating or freaking out at triple digit speeds, man. That'd be a bad experience. 65 miles an hour on a Goldwing, losing a front tire is no damn fun. Lost one on my Connie too. Okay, a tote. No, that was a cooler. Yeah, rear tires are bad because it can make you fishtail, and if you can't clamp that down and get it under control pretty quick, you're in trouble. and you can't really get hard in your front brake when you lose a rear tire, because then that's going to unload the rear end even more and make it fishtail. So it's dicey. Front tire, you just lose steering control. You're pretty much. So yeah, aside from the front tire being out of balance, this thing's feeling smooth as usual, smooth as I remember it. But you can really see the undulation in the bar going. It's definitely out of balance, or it could be not mounted concentrically, so out of round, but it feels like it's out of balance because I don't feel it below, let's say, 60. It starts being noticed at 65. Zoom, zoom, damn, 100 miles an hour. These things got so much leg room. Used to riding the small scooters. If I'm sitting in the normal, you know, middle of the rider portion of the seat. If I stretch my legs out completely, lock my knees, my heels aren't even touching the floorboard in the front. Of course, I'm a shorty, you know, 5'7", with my boots on. Ugh. Woo, it's windy out here. The top box on the back of this thing catches a fair amount of wind, so when there's a lot of lateral gusts, you feel it tweaking the back of the bike. It doesn't really take it offline much, but you feel the angle of the bike change. That's a big old box back there. I was going to take it off and ride without it this morning, but I thought, hell no, it's a nice huge box. I'm going to put my laptop bag in there with plenty of room to spare. You stay over there. Alright, get away from this pack, 'cause I gotta get over and I don't want to be tangled up in that nonsense. The other side of the road is stuck. I wonder what's going on. There, full park. Damn. 5-6 lanes wide, just stopped. Yuck. Oh, now I can hear those EBC pads. They're making that zzz sound. Not as bad as on the pedaled rotors, though. Noisier than the stock pads, but they grip a whole lot better. Keep going. It's a yield, doofus, not a stop. Be next to Fat Boy in this roundabout. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Yield and roll, yield and roll. thing's so easy to get your feet down to the ground. Low seat height, low center of gravity. I'm short, you know, I mentioned that before. I can almost flat foot this thing on both sides. Not quite. It's wide, you know. I think the seat height on it is right at 30 inches. 29 and a half, something like that. It's narrow up here at the front of the seat, but, you know, right where you got to get your legs down, it's a little wider. Can almost flat foot both sides. My Suzuki Bergman 650 that I had, 650 Executive, had an even lower seat than this, or I could flat foot that thing, heels down on both sides. It was a fun bike, but I had two of them, and both of them had issues, you know, various issues. One of them had transmission issues, and the other one had electrical issues. Well, I've arrived. I will bid you all farewell until the afternoon commute. All right, welcome back to the day. It is peak of rush hour, about 5:15. Be lots of fun. So I can get out here without getting whacked. Ugh, very hard to see around the curve, and can't trust people to stay in a lane. So it was a productive day. Another one of those that I wish I had gotten more done, but I did enough to feel accomplished, you know. Still feels really nice out here. Relatively dry air, and you know, mid 80s, low to mid 80s. Apparently the rain is coming in tomorrow by the forecast. I didn't check to see what time tomorrow, but it's coming at us a day earlier than the early forecasts. So Tuesday, Wednesday are going to be rain outs, and Thursday there's no chance of rain in the forecast. So I guess it's blowing through faster than anticipated. Oh, this is boring. I always hate rush hour commutes. So much stop and not enough go. I haven't checked my trip to see how far down in the tank I am. I'm at 65 miles and I'm about 3 dots down, over half a tank. I don't remember how linear this gauge is. It's been too long since I've ridden it. I should get about 200 miles a tank, ballpark. At 50 miles to the gallon, 4.5 gallons, you know, should be a comfortable 200 mile range, I would think, I would hope, but I can't remember for sure. Whoa, dude's got some balls running across this access road because people haul ass through here. I was just thinking about my trip meter. It's actually more than that because I disconnected the battery. I need to look back on my odometer to figure out what my trip miles are. I already had 30 miles or so on it when I unplugged the battery, and that resets trip.